Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of Talk of the Town. I'm glad that you're here this week. I hope you're glad that you're here this week. I know Andrea's glad that we're here this week, so let's swing the camera around and let you see who I'm talking about. This is Miss Andrea Marshall. She is victim specialist with Cleveland County Sheriff's Office, and she is our first guest today. Aren't you glad you're number one?
I am very excited.
You can go tell everybody all the rest of the day, I'm number one.
Absolutely.
That's
I'll
it.
do that.
We're glad to have you again.
Thank you.
Now, we were just chatting about that. You've actually been on a couple of more times before this, haven't you?
I have, yeah. I think I was on last year to promote this similar event we're about to talk about, and then a couple years ago with the sheriff, talk about victim services.
There you go. I know, and that's what I was about to say. You work with the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office, and you're a victim specialist. So there may be some folks out there going, "What is that?"
Right.
So
I'm
this
sure.
would be a great place to start. Tell us a little bit about what you do, how long you've done it, what it's all about, all that good stuff.
Okay. So I started at the Sheriff's Office. The Sheriff's Office got a grant in 2019 and to start this victim services program. And then I was hired on in January of 2020. And so I've been doing it about 4.5 years. And we've kind of built the program up since then. There wasn't a victim services program at all in Cleveland County at that point. So kind of what we do is we provide resources for violent crime victims. So we do referrals for counseling. We help with basic needs like food, shelter, clothing, things like that. A big part of our job is helping with protective orders and going to court with violent crime survivors, just to help them understand the process. It's so incredibly confusing. So we kind of make sure they're updated on everything going on with their case and help them, stay engaged and have a support system through that process.
Wow, that's pretty. That's something that most people wouldn't ever think about.
Right.
But when you find yourself in that position, I can't imagine what I'm sitting here thinking about. Before this grant, what did people do? I mean,
Right.
that's just like, seems like so necessary because
Absolutely.
you're suddenly put into a position that you've never been in before, and you're in a world that you know nothing about. And that can be really confusing, can it?
It absolutely can.
And stressful.
Yes, very stressful. And, people kind of assume that the justice system is similar to what you see on Law and Order SVU or, on television.
Now, don't burst
But
my bubble.
I'm so sorry
They
to
don't
burst
do-
it, but that is not how it works.
You don't- okay.
So people, have to go to court multiple times over months or years, depending on, the type of crime and things like that. So it's really difficult to stay engaged, to keep having, to relive it. So having people to support and, encourage along the way is really helpful, and it's really important.
No, that you just mentioned something. We see the crimes get solved in an hour on TV, but if you keep having to re-engage over months
Right.
and over years, I mean, it's almost like PTSD. You were having
Absolutely.
to relive all of that and recount it.
Yes.
Sometimes accurately over and over and over and over and over again. So you
right.
have to keep it fresh and right.
Yes.
That's almost traumatizing. That's just
absolutely
it
is,
can be
yeah.
really, really difficult, I know, for people.
Yeah.
So how does this how do you do this with folks? What kind of things do you do to help them through this?
Well, we the first thing we do is make sure their basic needs are met. If you don't have food and clothing and shelter, then there's no way you can process the emotional side, the trauma side of being a victim of crime. So we make sure that their basic needs are met, that they can pay their bills. We go, above and beyond to try to make sure that those stressors are kind of taken care of as much as we can, so that they can process this other piece of it. And my background, I have a license in mental health counseling, so that's kind of my background. I don't do therapy with them, but that definitely helps in terms of being a support, being able to understand kind of where they're coming from and kind of the intricacies of trauma and things like that. So
Is that something you do try to, if you see that that's a need there for them, though, that you try to arrange for them to have as well?
yes, absolutely. That's one of the first things
Right.
that we do is arrange for counseling if they're open to it. Because that's such an important piece, especially if it's a more serious charge and they're going to be possibly going through a trial or something like that. We want to make sure that they're mentally prepared and able to process that with somebody that can help.
Yeah, because even just the time frame you were talking about, trials can go. The process of just getting to trial
Yeah.
can be much longer than we would expect,
Absolutely.
and then involve much more than we would imagine to get to that point. And
Yeah.
oftentimes they have to testify, don't they?
Sure. Yes.
And then they have to be prepared for that because that has to
Yes.
be difficult in some cases as well.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Right.
So you stay pretty busy.
I do. I do stay pretty busy.
Pretty busy there. Sadly, I wish you didn't have anything to do at all, but sadly, you
I
you
know.
probably do stay pretty busy.
Yeah.
So how's it gone? Is it something that you see the need growing for, or is it just
Yeah. I mean, so we kind of are, in talks about how to expand the program. Because as of now, we only work with violent crime victims, but there's even a need for other types of crimes that may not be person on person or violent, but, victims of fraud or, burglary, things like that, also may need some of these services. And so we are kind of talking about how we can possibly expand or what that might look like in the future.
that is awesome? So now I know that this is. You mentioned that when we met last year, you were here to talk about the same event that we're getting ready to talk about today.
Yes.
April's kind of a special month for this field of work that you're in, isn't it?
Yes. So April is a couple things actually go on. It's Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and it's also the last week of April is National Crime Victims' Rights Week. And so we really work in April to promote those things, to bring awareness and things like that.
Oh, that's awesome. So
Yeah.
I know you've got an event coming up that you would like to tell us all
Yes.
about. So jump right in with both feet and tell us all about what's about to happen.
All right. So, like I said, April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. The last week is National Crime Victims' Rights Week. And so throughout the month, we've got a few different things going on. My coworker and I, so I'm full-time and he's part-time victim specialist. So we are going to be traveling around the county during the week of National Crime Victims' Rights to have kind of what we're calling informational sessions. So we'll be set up at Gardner Webb one day, Kingston Town Hall, and in Lawndale as well. And we're hoping to also set up somewhere in Kings Mountain, so kind of cover all the different areas of the county. And we'll be sharing about victim services and about resources available, and obviously about our event. And then we also are offering for crime survivors, we're partnering with the Cleveland County Arts Council, and we're providing vouchers for art classes for some of our victims. So that's going to be happening in the next couple of weeks, and then we're hoping to display some of that artwork at our event. So the big event, which is what we're here to kind of promote, is on April 25th at the Bobby Bell Pavilion, and it'll be from 11 to 2. We're going to have a lot of different things going on. We'll have speakers, several speakers kind of throughout the event. Our keynote is a survivor herself, and she actually works at the DA's office. So she's going to be sharing about her experience as a survivor and what that has looked like for her, working in the justice system and things like that. So I'm really excited to hear what she has to say. We'll also have representatives from all different law enforcement agencies that'll share, and also we'll have some resources that will come and talk about their agencies and what they offer. In addition to that, we'll have a resource fair. So we'll be inviting, different community agencies and organizations to come out and share their, they'll have kind of booths or tables set up at the event with different resources for all kinds of different issues that a crime victim or anyone in the community might, come upon. And then we also will have, which is going to be, I'm really excited about this, we're going to have a therapy dog demonstration. So there'll be an organization there with their animals, and they can talk to you about registering your dog as a therapy dog, what that looks like, and then they'll kind of do some demonstrations or tricks or kind of explain how that works and the differences between different types of certifications for service animals.
Right.
Yeah,
That is awesome.
yeah,
You have a lot going on that day.
we do. We do have a lot.
So I know this is a really popular event, isn't it? I mean, there's just, because I remember last year it was flooded out into the streets around there. So this is one of those really special days, and it's not somebody may be thinking, well, I've not been a victim of violent crime. It doesn't really matter, does it?
Absolutely not. This is for everybody to come out. Oh, I forgot to mention one thing. We're kind of kicking off the event. We're partnering with DSS, and we'll kick it off with their Sound the Alarm event, which is a child abuse prevention awareness event. So kind of at 11 when everything starts, you might hear lots and lots of noise, sirens from all different first responder vehicles, and then DSS will kind of speak and share about what that means and why they've chosen to do that type of event. So,
That is awesome.
yeah.
And it not only raises awareness, but it lets people who for whatever reason find themselves in a position where they could use some of these services
Yes.
to find out where they are, how they could get in touch with them, what's available, things that they
Yes.
may not even be aware of that's available in our community. It's worth the
Absolutely.
time just to come out and see what's available in our community.
Yeah, we do it kind of during the lunchtime. So if you have a lunch break, you can kind of walk around, get some information, hear a speaker. If there's, they're there, we'll have a few throughout the day. So just kind of pop in, pop out as you need to.
Well, that is awesome. Now, that is, if in case someone wants some more information, how could they get that about the event?
You can go to the Sheriff's Office website, and our contact information is in the Victim Services tab. You're welcome to email me, call my coworker Robbie Barr through the Sheriff's Office, and we can get you more information.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being on our show today.
Absolutely. I've
And don't wait
enjoyed
a
it.
year to come back.
Okay.
Glad to have you.
Thank
so
you. I'm
glad to
glad to
have you.
be
And we're
here.
so glad to have you here for the first part of our show, but you can't go away because there's more talk of the town right after this.
Here in Cleveland County, many children struggle to develop due to the lack of guidance and shortage of positive role models. At the Boys and Girls Club, we make it our team's mission to aid your child in becoming a better student and, more importantly, a better person with a brighter future.
When your child comes to the club, you can be assured they are being guided in a manner that is beneficial to the growth as an adult that is visible in their lives. Please consider giving your child the opportunity to be the absolute best they can possibly be.
Please support your local Boys and Girls Club today.
Today I'd like to make everyone aware of the risk of skimmers. First, let me tell you what a skimmer is. A skimmer is a device that is often installed at a gas pump that is used to steal credit card information. When you use your card at the pump, a skimmer is disguised to look like a card reader and collect both card and PIN numbers that can be used to replicate and create counterfeit cards. Now let me tell you some of the best practices to protect yourself from skimmers at the pump. Always ensure that the tamper tape at the pump you're using is intact. Skimmers are installed inside the pump housing, and this tape ensures that the pump has not been opened. Always try to use the pump closest to the entrance to the store. Skimmers are often installed at the pump furthest from the store and the camera systems. Pay inside whenever possible. Cover a pin pad when entering your PIN number to protect against pinhole cameras.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Talk of the Town. Steve Putnam still sitting right where you left me, but we've got somebody new in this seat, so we're going to swing this camera around and introduce everybody out there to somebody I've been talking to, and that is Miss Hannah Mantooth. Did I say it correctly?
Yes.
Yes, I did. Fabulous. And she is the, Recreation Program Supervisor for the Shelby Parks and Recreation Department
Yes.
for the city of Shelby, right?
Yes.
This is amazing. I got through all of that.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It is a lot.
Now, how long have you been doing that?
I've been at the park for about 7 years now. I was there part-time and kind of worked my way in, and I've been there full-time now. I've been in this position for a little over 6 months now, so
Fabulous.
yeah.
So how you liking it?
Oh, I love it. It's kind of something new, different, and new and different every day. I mean,
There's a lot going on at the park, isn't there?
oh yes, we've just now got out of our slow season, and we say that April was the kind of the kickoff month for summer, which is crazy. 7 days in April, it feels like summer, or some days it feels like winter. So, but it's full steam ahead for us.
That's right. And I noticed the pool's looking amazing.
Yes.
Oh, it's all
yes.
back together. Because I know I've been sort of watching it go, then put it back together. But it looks so good.
Oh yes, and the opening day for that will be May 25th, so Memorial Weekend, and then we'll be
Memorial
open
weekend.
all the way through Labor Day. So
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
See, it is. Summer's right around the corner.
it is indeed.
And that also means that this wonderful festival that you've been talking about is right around the corner
Yes,
as well.
yes.
This has really grown into something special, hasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's something that is really family fun that families can look forward to year after year, and I think that's kind of special in that it may be the same thing every year, but I think it gets more fun every year. To see people come back, they're like, to tell you that they look forward to it.
Well, see, there are certain events that are like that there's a certain amount of stability to it that people want. Like the fair,
Oh,
Cleveland
yeah.
County Fair. We were just talking about that a few moments ago. There are certain things that you better have at the fair if they're
Oh,
going to
yes.
if they're not going to have a revolt in Cleveland County. And when your event has arrived to that point, when people look at you and go, "Where is so and so? It wasn't here this year, and it was here last year and the year before. What did you do with it?" And that's happened to you, haven't it?
Yes, exactly. Especially with that amazing food that you can get. If that one food vendor is just, they're not there this year, they're going to say, "What happened? I look forward to that food every year."
And it's supposed to be in this spot.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
But that's the cool thing about this event. You're right. I was really surprised when you handed me the flyer and I was going through it. The thing that got my attention was this celebrating 27 years up here. And I got to thinking about that. I would not have guessed if you just asked me about it. But then I got to thinking, well, okay, my kids are all in that, mid-late 20s age. We took all of our children to this to this thing when they were growing up. And I was like, wow, this is really the 27th year. It's been such an amazing and successful thing for the park.
Absolutely. And I think it kind of, with having the carousel and train, it kind of just adds to that, because with the restoration that was completed in 1998, the festival was kind of started right before that, but then to kind of celebrate that, and just, I think it's just something else that's special and unique that the park can offer to Cleveland County. I mean,
Yep, we brought our children to the very first one, and I remember them watching the fireworks display for that very first one and yelling out the colors as the fireworks would go off. And that's really the anchor to this. It's that carousel and that train and the park. That everything else can change just a little bit, but those things are really the anchor to it. I think you're going to be doing this forever.
oh, absolutely. I mean,
This is an event now. It's rooted into the fabric of Cleveland County now. This is something that's expected every year.
yeah, and the armbands are just $10. So I mean, where can you go and have that much fun for $10 and it include everything? So you don't have to worry about buying a ticket for the rides. All you got to do is get your armband at the door, and then you're good.
Yeah, and I've noticed something else too. There are a lot of other activities in and around Cleveland County that have been timed to happen and coincide at the same time you're doing this event, because they know so many people are going to be flooding into to go to this. It's really it's like you're the mini Cleveland County Fair.
Ironically, that is what I call it. I mean, because I think that's the perfect.
You're the
Word,
you're the spring
yeah.
fair.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So now that we've really talked it up, 2 big days. There you go.
Yes,
This thing that we're talking about is the Merry-Go-Round Festival, and I guess it's been that since. That's probably where they got the idea, was when they were restoring the merry-go-round to its glory, and boy, it's still absolutely pristine. And that first celebration, that's where it got its name, wasn't it?
Yeah, and also kind of, I guess, merry-go-round in a way, from looking at the term, is kind of you go around to a lot of different things and have different fun, but all in the same area. And so that's kind of also, not only with the carousel, but that's kind of where the name merry-go-round came from. So that's a little bit of history behind it.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about what's going to happen that day.
So we'll
Or both
have,
days, both
yeah, so both days it'll kind of be the same thing. So on Saturday, it'll be from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. And we'll have different rides, really a lot of fun for all ages. So there'll be something for smaller kids all the way up until adults. So we mentioned earlier that barrel of fun. So I
Oh,
mean, there's
yes.
lots of fun to be had.
You
And
don't
then,
want to be in the barrel of fun with me, or it will not be fun for you.
I understand. And then we'll also have Captain Jim. We'll have magic. Very
Right.
thankful to have Captain Jim and his loyalty to the Merry-Go-Round Festival. He's been here, him and his wife have been doing this for many years, and to have their son also to participate just kind of adds that. I think it adds to the family atmosphere and that family fun. And then Circus Stella is a dog show, and all of their dogs are rescued, so they kind of train them to do all these tricks and whatnot. So I think it's kind of exposure to a lot of different things.
It is, and I know that their son you mentioned is on stilts. He's the one with the stilts and the bubbles and going around
Yeah,
engaging
and juggling
everyone.
on stilts, and I can't even walk like without tripping over something. So
And I remember walking through there last year and just watching how many people would stop and get photo ops with him.
oh yeah,
And just because it's what you do.
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
it's just one of those things where people want to do kind of the same thing. They like some variety, they like something, but they want some of these same things to be there every year, don't they?
yes, and I could even say that with the characters that we're gonna have, a lot of people, especially like the younger kids, they look forward to like the little girls, and some little boys like the princesses. Like, we did not have Anna and Elsa from Frozen for 1 year, and they're like, where's Anna and Elsa? And then we'll have Spider-Man, and then Batman and the Joker, and also Captain America. So, you know.
Oh, and don't leave out Thor. You got to have Thor.
And
Thor's in there.
Yes. And I think that that's also something that people of all ages enjoy, you know, because I think it's all, in a way, no matter how old you were when you were introduced to those characters, but that kind of sticks with you for life in a way. So kind of, again, tying back into that family
Right.
atmosphere.
And that is a part of it. It is one of those things that you're coming out of winter, everybody's looking to get outside. I know the weather can be a little dicey sometimes in April.
Yes,
It
yes.
can surprise you, because I remember coming to some of these when it was actually quite chilly, and some when it was blazing hot. It's like,
yes.
you just don't ever really know what you're going to get in April, but it's one of those things that I do have those memories of, because we came multiple years. This is, if you've got families, this is just what you do. And it's a tradition. It is a Shelby tradition since 1998, and that's really true. When I was looking at that, I was like, that's a good way to put it. And besides all of this, and all the wonderful rides and all the wonderful entertainment, you've got food.
Yes.
I love the food. Food and I go way
Yes.
back.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
It's tell us a little bit about some of these wonderful food vendors that you've got coming. I think we've got, I see Fat and Sassy here.
Yes, can't
Best
go wrong with
orangeade in the world.
yes, all that cotton candy, deep fried Oreos, all of that. And
You're making me hungry.
yes. And then they'll have, the Shriners will be there. They set up a grill. And then I'm not sure if he really has a name, but I know that Dane's,
Yes, Dane's is going to be there.
yes,
And then the ice cream, we got David Ice Cream.
yes,
And of course, the fair fries, Colors Fries.
yes,
the
gotta
vinegar
have those
The
fries.
line will go out and around and down. to get
Absolutely.
those vinegar fries.
And that's one of those things you said people are looking for it, and if they don't see it, they're gonna ask.
Yeah, they're going to be looking for you.
Yes, yes, they are.
If they don't see it.
They're gonna say, I saw Hannah on the news, and she told me
And
this
she
is gonna
told
be.
me that I was going to be able to get vinegar fries. So, where are my fries? But that's and those things are going to be there both days. And
Yes,
all of
yes,
this is going to be there for both. So if you can't
yes.
come one day, you can come. Or you can come both days.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
because there's going to be enough fun to have for both days. Now I know that this is something that you have probably been planning the entire 6 months that you've been doing this, right?
Yes, I'm actually in charge of, and it's a good way for even any middle school, high school age students. I mean, to look forward in the future, I do the volunteer work, so it's a great way to get volunteer hours if, I mean, any kids are looking forward or needing hours for anything. So it's a great way to get involved.
There are a lot that are, and there are a
Yeah.
lot, like I know that I used to be a scout leader, and a lot of the merit badges they would have to volunteer for things and they'd get so many volunteer hours. So I know
Yeah.
there's a lot of groups, clubs, organizations, sporting that kids are involved in that
Yeah.
actually require them. So this would be a great place for them to get some of those hours, wouldn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Never turn down any type of help. I mean,
Never turn down the help.
yes, never, never.
Oh, that is awesome. So I know that now this starts. Tell us a little bit about the times again. When does it start on Saturday? When does it start on Sunday? When does it run through?
Yeah, so Saturday, April the 27th, will be open from 11 to 8. And then on Sunday, April the 28th, will be open from 1 to 8.
There you go.
Yeah.
And now, if people, I know that they may be looking at this and thinking, you know what, I want to know this or want to know that, or they want more information. How could they get more information about this?
Yeah, you could just call the park at 704-484-6821, and we can answer any questions. As far as the parking, I mean, I'm the type of person, if I don't know where to park, I'm not going to the event. So we have parking all across the park, and we do also offer a shuttle service. So if maybe walking may be a concern, we'll be more than happy to pick you up on a golf cart and take you to the main entrance.
There you go. And that. There are so many people. There are enough people there to where that could be something that that they really need, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely, because it's an amazingly popular event. Amazingly popular event. That's very well planned. Kudos to you.
Yes, and we do have a merry-go-round festival committee, so it's not possible without, we have a board as well, that a lot of planning goes into that between my supervisor, our director, and the board members. They do a lot to make it happen, a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff.
Oh, I'm sure it takes an army
Oh,
to
yes,
put this on, and
absolutely.
then those volunteers that you need.
Yes,
and the last
absolutely.
thing I'll mention too is the fact that this is again the kickoff. This is like when the park really starts. So if people are interested in some of the things that the park has for the summer, because I know the swimming opens back up, all the sports open back up. If anybody's interested in all of these things, do they contact you? Have the same information, the same way they contact?
Yeah, absolutely. Just call the park, and in the past we've had a table set up with information of like upcoming events that are taking place at the park, and so
Good stuff.
yeah, so there's always something going on here.
Always something. So Merry-Go-Round Festival, 2 big days.
Yes,
All right, 27th and the 28th. We're looking forward to it.
yes, me too.
And thank you for being on our show today to tell us
course.
all about it. And thank you
Yes.
for all that you do for this and for our community and for the parks.
Thank you.
All
Happy,
right.
happy to do it.
Happy to do it. And we're happy that you were here watching her do it, because that's what we do this for, so that you get to find out about all the wonderful things that are happening right here in Cleveland County. And I'll tell you another way we find out about the wonderful things that are happening here in Cleveland County, and that's if you use this email address and you send us story ideas at info@c19.tv. If you see something cool, something fun, something amazing that's happening, somebody doing something really good or really wonderful, and you know that they should be in this chair, let us know about it, and we'll be sure to make that happen. But until next time, this is Steve Putnam saying, have a great week.